Good morning. I wanted to welcome back to our second virtual meeting. Wanted to reiterate that this meeting will in no way take permanent replacement of the physical meetings, but for now, the locals shut down and they're not having them. So in the interim, we thought we'd do this. We had a great response to the last one. Seemed like we got a lot of people watching it, so we wanted to thank you for tuning in again. Normally we do call order, Pledge of Allegiance and all that, but this is a little more informational and a little more informal, so we'll get right to the President's report. I'd like to thank Paul Morey, VP, Dwayne Glass, Bargaining for being here. And please, if you have any questions, make sure you're emailing me or someone in the bargaining team or your committee person, or text us your questions. We'd like to get to them. We'd love to read them and love to answer them. So I'll get right to the report. 8061. Working overtime on various infrastructure projects around the complex. All trades are on overtime. Power, some overtime. The fitters are running a portion of the gas line that was taken back from HB&L. Engine plant. The current plan is to go down hard in March of 2021 for a complete redo. They're going to snip and drop, gut it out and put in a whole new lines. There's a meeting to discuss the future state and trade makeup with Tom Reber and Jerry Bonar very soon, as well as identifying a launch team. Truck plant. We met with the company regarding the BEV building, the BEV. It's actually called the DEVC now. It's the Dearborn Electric Vehicle Center. We discussed the importance of a launch team, and they agreed with us on that. We also discussed the 500,000 square foot structure and what the trade mix will be, as well as the JPH. Right now they're looking at many, many unknowns, the least of which is whether there'll be a demand for this vehicle. They have on the inside what they call a PA, which is program approval, which hasn't even been given yet. So the planning portion of the project hasn't even really begun. Contractors and vendors haven't been identified. Neither has the actual footprint of what will go inside. Ironically, it seems they want a shell and an outside before they have a floor plan, which is a little counterintuitive. The transplants build the buildings from the inside, then they shell it in from the outside, but Ford has a different plan and a different way of doing things. However, we were able to secure their commitment that we'll be involved moving forward on a bi-weekly meeting cadence, as well as an agreement that our trades should be involved in the planning and the launch. We have their commitment there, and we'll know more as we move forward, and as we do, obviously we'll get that information to you as quickly as possible. Tool and die plant. Most of the launch work is complete, and they're just doing coverage. World headquarters. All trades are on overtime with campus upgrades. Stamping plant. Facilities working some overtime. Areas working, areas A and B working coverage as necessary. Frame plant, DDMP, working some overtime and covering as necessary on the production schedule. Local news. The election dates of the local for our unit are August 6th and 7th from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are 3 trustee positions that need to be filled, and we have a right to vote on those spots. There's a sample ballot that should be up in your area or your department. It looks like this. If the sample ballot isn't up and you haven't seen it, please let us know. We'll get it out to you as quickly as possible so you know who's on the actual, who's up to be voted upon. And let us know. We'll get that out to you as quickly as we can. Regional news. Most, if not all, of the events that the region sponsors have been canceled due to the virus and everything that's been going down, which is including but not limited to the LUCA conference canceled and the 2020 bowling tournament canceled. So as those things start to ramp back up, we'll get that information out to you. Apprentice news. The welders are scheduled to rotate August 3rd. Mechanical trades rotated back in June 22nd. Electrical apprentices are slated to rotate sometime in September. We don't have the date for that yet. Currently we have 83 active apprentices in the system, and the NJAC has asked that we halt indenturing any more apprentices until 2022 because of current backlog in the system. That's not concrete, and we don't have a definitive word on that, but that's what we were asked. Safety, complete Road 4 repave has started. Will be ongoing until at least the end of September. They'll close one complete side at a time and move traffic back and forth as necessary from Gate 10 to the tunnel. Other safety news, the wearing of the face mask is a big issue for everyone. We understand it, we sympathize, we realize it. We know it's uncomfortable, we know it's hot, and no one likes wearing it, but for now, it's required like any other part of your PPE, a bump cap, safety glasses, ear protection, and you can be disciplined for not wearing it. We don't want that, you don't want that, and no one wants to go down that road. So unless you're outside, you can take it off outside if you can maintain 6-foot social distance. If you're inside and you're working, you have to wear it unless you're eating or drinking. So, like I said, we understand, we're in lockstep, we know it's pain, but it is part of the PPE and it is where we are right now during the virus. Job security program. Currently we have 4 open recs at World Headquarters for stationary steam engineers. We have 2 refrigeration people that have been identified to come to the plant. 1 for truck plant and 1 for engine. The one at truck is actually a transfer from Romeo. He will transfer on 7/27. That date's been moved a couple of times, so I'm not going to say definitively that he will be here, but he's scheduled to be here on 7/27. And that was because Romeo had access and a posting went up out there, and we had 1 volunteer. There's been 1 auto mechanic hired at Vehicle Service Center. They're currently interviewing for a ITM, a high-low mechanic at stamping plant. Truck plant paint also is looking to interview an SSE, and then 1 welder for DDMP. Rest assured that as these backfills identified, as these interviews complete and that person has been identified, then we can have the lateral awards go out, and the people who were hired will go and backfill those who were awarded a lateral in that lateral bid process, which we have. As far as questions, we didn't get a lot of questions, and I'd like to see more. Please, I enjoy answering them, so if you have a question, text me, email your bargainer committee. But one question we did have was the occupational codes on the seniority lists and what they actually mean. So I wanted to get into that a little bit. Occupation codes are all different, but the ending, the numerical sequence at the end, really is the same for all seniority lists across the board. So for instance, a 0 at the end signifies journeyman. A 2 at the end signifies an apprentice. A 7 at the end signifies a leader. An M, like married, at the end signifies a maintenance team member. A Z, like zebra, at the end signifies master of license. An S, like Sam, is for coordinator. And then there's 2 other ones, which is actually a complete occupation code. 5870020 is an STWG, skilled trade work group leader. And then a 6070010 would signify a maintenance team leader. And I just wanted to go over that real quickly. Shutdown for engine has already occurred. That was June 29th and July 6th. Those plants not observing a shutdown, a summer shutdown, will be Rouge Power and Utilities, 8061 World Headquarters, the Dearborn Tool and Die Plant, and the Vehicle Service Garage. They will not observe a shutdown. And the weeks of September 7th and September 14th will be for Dearborn Truck Plant, Dearborn Stamping Plant, and Dearborn Diversified, DDMP. That will be September 7th and September 14th. That concludes the report. And like I said, we'll be having a series of these podcasts, but they certainly won't take place at the physical meetings. We'll get those ramped up as soon as we possibly can, as soon as the local opens back up. With that, I wish you safety and health. I hope your families are good. If there's any place that you feel you'd like to see the committee, any place we haven't been, any place we haven't visited, or you haven't seen us in a while, whether it be committee person or bargaining people or myself as chair, we want to reach out and touch everybody. We want to make sure you know we're here for you, we represent you, and we want to be on the floor. I look at it as a sign of strength and a message to the company that we're in lockstep with you. So if there is a place that we haven't been or some place you haven't seen us in a while, let us know. We'll do our best to fill that gap and get out to see you as soon as we possibly can. With that, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. On behalf of Paul Morey, my VP, Dwayne Glass, my bargainer, myself, Greg Tyler, your chair. We want to thank Mike Young for taking time out of his schedule to record this for us so we can get this information to you. And we bid you peace and goodwill. Thank you.